started doing my book reviews last week. That's exactly what they're supposed to be, book reviews. But I just came home from watching Simon Mole in his one-man show of Indiana Jones and the Extra Chair. And quite frankly, it was just so incredible. I had to tell someone about it. So I figured, what the hell, I've got my camera. Let me just tell me, just say it out loud how great it was. So Simon is basically this incredible just wordsmith, writer, theatre, spoken word type, who I've seen perform poems before. And I'm not the biggest poetry fan, but he is a storyteller, so in his poems all have a little story to them. And one of the things it said in the sheet was Simon has this kind of like eye for little details, and I realised that that's what I love. So when I've been reading these books recently, it's the stories of really simple everyday things that really hit a chord with me. Yesterday I was reading a new book that I started last night. It failed my test of engaging me after the first page, but I decided to keep with it, and I just couldn't. It was so complicated, and you know, the story and the plot was all over the place. This piece I saw today, which is kind of spoken word theatre piece, kind of boils down in its simplest form is that there is this guy, 22-year-old Mike, who gets invited to dinner with his mum to meet her new boyfriend. So it kind of touches on the kind of, I guess, the changing dynamics of his family life. He's kind of having a bit of a bad day because he had an argument with his girlfriend as well. So there's a lot going on in this character, but it's a very simple situation, literally going to your family home and meeting someone new. But, you know, you can take that story and you can do a lot of things with it. What was so lovely here was, it's quite a long show. I felt like an hour or something, which Simon does all on his own, so he wrote it and performs it. But it takes you on such a journey. You know, there really is emotional highs and lows, and there's this incredible lighting which kind of changes when he becomes all these different characters. So he plays his mum, he plays himself, he plays the new boyfriend Richard, and all amongst this, bringing it all together, is this character's fantasies about Indiana Jones, because he's a massive Indiana Jones fan. So when he has a kind of problem in life, he just kind of thinks back to what would Indy be doing. So that's all kind of thrown in as well, and it all just comes together in this incredible tale, just this one evening, which just kind of made you think, gosh, you know, little things again just made to be so interesting. Simon is so talented. You know, I'm really one of those people that just loses interest. Like in lectures, I never paid any attention at uni, I would fall asleep. And I find stand-up comedy quite hard for that very reason, because if you sort of stop listening for a few minutes, you kind of miss the joke. But he has this engaging way that just manages to keep me focused, which is like really rare. But speaking of which, watching this show, I was just really thinking, why don't we get spoken word on TV? There are so many stand-up comedy shows, like all the time when I'm flicking back at channels. Same old face that come up as well. And it just made me think, this is ridiculous. If we can get one-man stand-up shows, we should get poetry shows as well. I mean, you get these odd minutes like on Channel 4, like at midnight and stuff, they'll just do these little snippets. But, you know, you've got more dance on telly, you've got teeny bits of culture, but as yet, no spoken word. So I really think there should be more, quite frankly, and just to kind of add another element. So this incredible show was going on, but there was another element to it as well. I'm not sure if this is part of the main tour or whether it was just something special for Southbank. I didn't work that out. But when we actually arrived, we kind of arrived not into a theatre setting, but it was set up as a giant dining room with all these banqueting tables. And you kind of sat down, you just picked a chair, sat down at this dining table with 10 other people who you didn't know, and all of a sudden dinner was served, and these chefs came out, and there was this salad and bread and this incredibly tasty veggie hot pot. All my favourite things in, like carrots and chickpeas and swedes and parsnips, and really warming and just the perfect meal that even non-veggies would like. So we tucked into that, and afterwards, when Simon's show wasn't over, they even gave us dessert. And it kind of added this element of being in that situation, of being at this dinner table and talking to strangers. It just really brought kind of, what's the word for it, I don't know too many theatre terms, but that thing of like getting audiences interacting and feeling a bit of the action, and it was just so refreshing and so exciting and just really special. Like, it's only on for 2 nights, this particular venue, and I was there, I saw this, I witnessed it and I experienced it, and it was just really incredible and really special. I'm so glad I went. Just, you know, he's touring the show a bit more. I don't know where it's going. I think it's going to Brighton. That's all I picked up. But regardless, if you ever see his name listed on anything, I really think you should go and check him out. Or most likely his videos on YouTube are like a million times more interesting than mine. So just kind of cut here and go and search him. Cool. Alright. I'm going to come back tomorrow and I'm going to record my next book review because I have just finished another book. So yeah, all very exciting. Good night.